Further discussion? Representative Wand.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
Colleagues, I'm always mindful of a phrase that I've heard a couple of times. What is right is not always expedient, and what is expedient is not always right. You know, in my day job, I'm an attorney, but I like to think of it as a counselor at law. Because people come to me with their problems, and they don't look at me as a professional or as an attorney. They look at me as a person who explains to them what is going on, that explains to them whether I can help them, and they trust that I'm giving them proper advice. When I saw this bill from the Senate side, when I saw the numbers that 85% of the homeowners facing foreclosure in Nevada had not asked for mediation, I knew that I had to act. I knew that it wasn't good enough that I'm one of the newer members and that there are people that are very intelligent around me and people that are on the other side of this building that are also very intelligent. I knew that I had a particular opportunity to stand up for a principle that I believe strongly in, which is the concept of counseling. Because, colleagues, mediation alone doesn't do our neighbors any good. At the end of the day, if they are thrown into a room with a mediator, if they are thrown into a room with a multi-billion-dollar bank, how on earth are they going to know what can be done to help them? And that is why I stood so firmly demanding, or asking, cajoling, suggesting that this counseling element be included in this bill. Because that is the key, colleagues. Having the opportunity for a borrower, for an Oregonian, for our neighbor to know what the likely and possible outcomes of a mediation are, that's the difference. You know, I've had two instances that were very striking with regard to foreclosure. In one instance, I was representing an elderly couple who had a farm that had taken a mortgage because they knew that their property was going to be rezoned. It was in a comprehensive plan. And that comprehensive plan never came to fruition. And they contacted me and called me weekly as the foreclosure date was coming due. And I had long since stopped charging them anything. And then as we got about 2 weeks before the date, they called me 2 or 3 times a day. And the lady, the wife, was telling me, I just know my husband is going to die if we lose this farm. That struck a very deep chord with me, and it was heartbreaking when I was not able to save their farm. Luckily, he's still alive. But there's another instance where I had a success. And I want to talk about that too. The husband was a construction worker, and he had a disaster where a piece of equipment fell on top of his truck, and he was out of business. And they came to my law firm asking for help facing a foreclosure, and my partner was able to help them save their home. And these are dear friends of mine. Their kids go to school with my kids, and the relief in their eyes is a driving force for me on this. I'm proud of the work that we were able to accomplish with the people in this body and on the other side of the building. We've removed the obligation in all instances for $200 payments that these folks can't afford. We have proper notices that will help, and we have a counseling option that will provide the necessary background so that people going into mediation have a realistic shot of success. This is not the perfect solution, but the one thing that I promised my neighbors when I came here is that I would not let perfect be an enemy of good. And so I'm very excited to have this bill. I ask for your aye vote. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative.